Welcome back to River Forest, Illinois for Game 2 of NAC softball between the Concordia University Chicago Cougars and the visiting Edgewood Eagles.
Now it's back for the Eagles, number 10, Natalie Fields.
Lineup for the Eagles here in Game 2. It's Natalie Fields, Elizabeth Malarski, Olivia Herberg, Grace Ott, Gracie Hoffman, Jenna Sanchez, Camden Shepard, Lily Mabs, Carly Ojewski, and Grace Pustina. As pitch number 1 there from Eden Pufall is a ball. As the dribbler heads back to Pufall, fires to Hajik at first for the first out of game number 2.
Now it's back for the Eagles, number 7, Elizabeth Malarski.
So Pufall makes quick works of Natalie Fields. Let's recap the first game. It was Edgewood 8 and Concordia Chicago 6. Here is Malarski, takes the first pitch in for a strike from Pufall on the inside part of the plate. Malarski, a player, came into today's matchups batting at .280 with 7 RBIs on the season as she hits a soft liner towards Pufall, and Pufall secures out number 2. So the first 2 batters take their swings right back at number 16 in the circle for 2 quick outs. And that'll give us Olivia Hebert, the catcher for this afternoon's contest, as that pitch is called for a strike. Hebert down 0-1 in the count here early. And Hebert leads this Eagle team in average, hitting .436 so far with 3 home runs to her name. As there's a fly ball out to center field. Goldsby will be under it. And 1, 2, 3 go the Eagles on the top half of the first inning. When we return on the Cougar Sports Network, we will see the bottom half of the first inning. It'll be Garcia, Goldsby, and Gang for the Cougars up 1, 2, 3, 0-0 after the top of the first. In the circle for the Eagles here in Game 2, it'll be Grace Pustina. Comes in with a 3-flat ERA with 23.1 innings pitched so far here this season. Defensively behind her, it'll be Ojewski in left field, Halfman in center, Fields in right, Mabs, Shepard, Sanchez, and Ott around the infield. Hebert will be behind the plate, calling the pitches for Pustina here in game number 2. Leading off for the Cougars, it'll be the freshman, number 22, second baseman, Emily Garcia. Garcia had a pair of hits in the first matchup this afternoon. As that first pitch to Garcia is in for a strike. And Garcia came into today batting .380. Still has yet to play long ball this season, but has several extra base hits, a pair of triples, and a double. She finds herself in a 1-1 count here with Pustina. And Pustina a lefty, as Garcia takes a crack at pitch number 3 and lines that one softly out to center field, where Halfman is under it for out number 1. And that'll give way to the center fielder who made the last out in the top half of the first inning for the Cougars. It's Haley Goldsby. As she dribbles one foul towards the third base line. And Goldsby hitting a respectable .395 here for the Cougars so far. She is still looking for her first home run of the year as well, but does have 15 hits as she watches that one high and outside. That'll even the count at 1-1. Goldsby was 1 for 3 in the first game. She swings at that one, lifts it out to left field, and it'll be over the head and off the wall. Gets right past Ojewski, and it's Haley Goldsby with a 1-out double here in the bottom half of the first inning. And that'll put a runner on for the Cougar catcher, number 12, Jessica Gang. And Gang, a player who's top 25 in the conference in batting average. She sits at an even .400 as she watches pitch number 1 inside. And Gang in the first game, she was 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs. So she will look to add another RBI to her daily total and bring in Goldsby here, as that'll be off the handle of the bat. But the umpire will say she got back to the bag, so Goldsby will have to stay at first after the little off-target throw there from Pustina, but still enough to get Gang. A nice play there by Grace Ott to get back to the bag for the putout. So there's 2 down now here for Bella Archuleta. One of the 3 Cougar seniors in the lineup here for game 2, so it's Goldsby remaining at second. The 0-1 pitch from Pustina is going to be swung on, and it's off the glove of the shortstop, and Goldsby will head to third, but enough to keep her at third. So a hard hit ball there by Archuleta. We'll wait for the ruling on that one, hit or error, but regardless, the Cougars will have runners at the corners here for Arissa Santos hitting in the 5-hole this second game. So here is Santos. She'll take the first pitch for a strike. They're going to rule that a single for Bella Archuleta. So Shepard will not be charged with an error there. So a 2-out base hit for Archuleta will have Cougars with runners at the corner as Arissa Santos takes strike 2 on the outside corner of the plate. So down 0-2 here with 2 down in the bottom half of the first inning. Pustina doing a nice job of getting ahead here of Santos, and here's the third pitch. It'll be swung on, stopped by the second baseman, thrown on to Ott at first, and the Eagles will escape the bottom half of the first inning without allowing a run. So the Cougars will leave 2 stranded at first and third, and that'll be all for 1-0-0. After 1 on the Cougar Sports Network.
23, Grace Ott.
Welcome back to the top half of the second inning. It'll be the first baseman, number 23, Grace Ott, to lead off the top half of the second for the Eagles. And if we look at the action so far this afternoon, Saturday, April 6th, it was St. Norbert who won over Aurora 2-1 in their first game. Dominican shut out Marion 4-0. Lakeland trampled Alverno. It was 17-0, and then our game finished 8-6 here in the first game in River Forest. So 4 finals so far here in the NAC, as Ott is down 0-1 after following that pitch up and over the Cougar first base dugout. Here's pitch number 2 from Pufal. It'll bounce in, so the count will be 1-1 now. And we look at conference standings. It's Dominican atop the conference. They're undefeated in NAC play with a 20-1 overall record. It's Milwaukee School of Engineering 2-0 in NAC play as they beat their Cougars of Concordia, Chicago, and their only NAC doubleheader. They sit at 7-9 overall. Lakeland sits in third, 15-4 overall, 6-1 in NAC play. So as MSOE gets a few more games under their belt, they've only played 16 games so far this year. Dominican and Lakeland appear to be the top of the conference so far this first half of the season, as the count to Ott is now even at 2-2. Pufal had a really smooth first inning there. Her pitch count less than 10, and that's a shot out to left field, and that'll be gone. Get out of here. Gracie Ott leads off the scoring in game number 2 here as she takes that ball out to left center field towards the flagpole, and it's the Eagles who strike first, 1-0. That swing from Ott was about as much of a no-doubter as you can have here. That ball got out of here in a hurry. So here is Gracie Halfman as she strikes that one out to right field, but Contopoulos gets it on the bounce. But a single for Halfman.
Now to bat, number 8, Jenna Sanchez.
With nobody out here in the top half of the second, this is Jenna Sanchez, the second baseman, who made the sliding play to keep the Cougars off the board in the bottom half of the first. So Pufal will have to go to work here with a runner on, down 1-0 so far. Pitch to Sanchez. Sanchez will square to bunt. It's Archuleta on from third, fires to Garcia at second to secure the out there. But Halfman moves up to second.
Now to bat, number 14, Camden Shepard.
So the sacrifice bunt by Jenna Sanchez was a good one. That'll give way to Camden Shepard. Shepard, a junior from Mount Horeb, Wisconsin. As she watches ball number 1 from Pufal. So a runner in scoring position here for Shepard. It's Halfman standing at second. And Shepard's hitting .333 so far this year. As she lines that one out to left field, it'll be Westfall who will field it and fire home. And Archuleta will tip it go off the glove of Archuleta, but can't corral it. Gang fires to second. And Camden Shepard slides in safely to second base, so it's an RBI single, scores Halfman, advances to second on the throw. The Eagles up 2-0 here in the second inning. Westfall was unable to field that one cleanly. And the throw went in just over Archuleta's outstretched glove. So we get another ball here in from Left field, it was the home run ball hit by Grace Ott just a few moments ago. So as we get ready to resume play here now, similar situation as the last at bat. We've got a runner on second base. This time it's Shepard. And here's Lily Mabs, the third baseman for the Eagles. She steps in with one out here in the second inning. Pufal's pitch is low and inside. So for the Cougars, it's Westfall, Goldsby, and Contopoulos in the outfield. Archuleta, Santos, Garcia, Hajik in the infield. Jessica Gang behind the plate for Eden Pufal in the circle. The second pitch is that skied straight in the air, but it finds no man's land out there. But a throw in from Goldsby to third base will pick off Shepard as she took off when the ball hit the ground, but Goldsby was able to get it on the one hop and fire to third base where Archuleta was waiting. So it was unconventional, but the Cougars will get it out and leave a runner at second. So it'll go down as a single for Mabs, and the put out at third base, Goldsby to Archuleta to snag Shepard. So now two outs here with Ojewski at the plate. Runner on second. Still for the Eagles, up 2-0 here. Carly Ojewski will slap here for the Eagles from the left-handed batter's box, but the first pitch is in the dirt, so she watches that one. That pitch is outside. So 2-0 now. As pitch number 3 of the at-bat is high and inside, so Pufal falls behind now 3-0 to Ojewski. And if Ojewski were to reach board here via the walk, that'll roll it over to the top of the order for Natalie Fields with 2 on. A big pitch here from Pufal, as that'll catch the plate. 3-1 count now. And Pufal will have to bring it at least one more time here to Ojewski. As there it is, and Ojewski will line that one foul towards the netting here on the third base side. So now a full count here with 2 down in the second inning. It's Pufal versus Ojewski. As here's the full count pitch. It's going to be high and inside, ball 4. So 2 on now for the Eagles. Mabs at second, Ojewski at first, and here's Natalie Fields, Edgewood leadoff hitter playing right field this afternoon. So it looks like we're going to get a pinch runner here. It's going to be number 9, Ariaya Shu, the senior outfielder from Spencer, Wisconsin, as she'll come in to run for Mabs. Fields' first at bat, she grounded out to Pufal in the circle for the first out of the second game this afternoon. This pitch number 1 is in the dirt, and there's a steal, but she'll be safe at third base as Shu slides in there safely. Ojewski will advance as well. It looked like the throw was there, but Shu slid to the top half of the bag, and Archuleta was unable to swipe the tag that far. It looked like Archuleta was kind of in front of third base there, a long way to reach to the tag. But a good throw by catcher Jessica Gang. So now 2 runners in scoring position here for Natalie Fields. Runners on second and third, 2 outs in the second. 1-0 count on Fields as a 2-0 count now. Pufall having much more trouble here in the second inning of throwing strikes. Pitch count up to 24 now. .2-0 from Pufall is fouled down to third base. Archuleta came up ready to fire, but the home plate umpire immediately yells foul ball. So that'll bring us back here. 2 balls, 1 strike. And the 2-1 pitch from Pufall is in the dirt. So far, Pufall's strike percentage is below 60% here through the first 1 2/3 innings. As the 3-1 is softly lined into center field, Goldsby will fire it in basically from the infield grass, but the throw home will allow Fields to advance to second, so an RBI single for Natalie Fields will score Shu in from third base. Ojewski will be held at third. But another 2-out base hit from the Eagles will extend their lead to 3-0. As Cougar coach Sarah O'Malley Fisher will call timeout and bring her infield into the circle here for a quick talk here. There's 2 outs in this second inning, so Cougars just need 1 more to escape. But once again, 2 runners in scoring position here for the Eagles, and they've had plenty of opportunity with base runners on what feels like the entire inning after the leadoff home run from Grace Ott. So the Eagles are now 5 for 8 on the afternoon, hitting above 625 so far here in this second game. But maybe what's more concerning for the Cougars is the Eagles are 3 for 3 with runners in scoring position. So still batting 1,000 with a runner on second and third, which is the situation the Cougars find themselves in right now. As the first pitch to Elizabeth Malarski, the DP for the Eagles today, is inside for a ball. As that pitch will catch the lower outside portion of the plate. Count is even at 1-1. And it's a busy day here for the Cougars. On April 6th, the Cougars fell to Benedictine in men's lacrosse this morning at 11 o'clock. We've got a doubleheader baseball against Marion, a doubleheader here in softball against Edgewood, and then this afternoon at 4, it'll be men's volleyball senior day for the Cougars here on the campus of Concordia University Chicago. As that pitch is fouled back towards us up here in the booth, the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 on here in the second inning, and 2 outs. As pitch from Pufall is low and in the dirt once again. Gang keeps it in front of her, so a full count now here for Elizabeth Malarski, the Eagle 2-hitter. So here's Pufal's full count pitch, and that's lifted out to Goldsby in center field, who will make the running grab out towards left center. But the Eagles strike first in the top half of the second inning. It was 5 hits, good for 3 runs. They strand 2 runners on. We will head to the bottom half of the second inning. When we return for the Cougars, it'll be Hajik Pufal and Mykyler Morris. 6-7-8 for the Cougars in the bottom half of the second inning when we return on the Cougar Sports Network. So for the Cougars in the bottom half of the second inning, here is Melissa Hajik. Hajik is playing first base for the Cougars. Hajik was off to a hot start. She was hitting .500 heading into their first NAC Conference doubleheader. Now sits at .423. She does have a pair of home runs so far this season. As the count is 1-1 now here from Pustina. And Pustina had only 11 pitches in that first inning, so a good first inning by both Pufal and Pustina. But it was the Eagles who got on top of Pufal in the second inning. So we'll see if the Cougars can attack Pustina here in their half of the second inning. In that first game from the Eagles, it was really the top half of the order that provided most of the offense for the Eagles. They tallied only 10 hits in that first game, but were able to score 8 runs, and 9 of those 10 hits came from the top 4 batters, and that's just a little bit different than what we saw in this first game, where it was the bottom portion of the order doing their part to get the Eagles on the board after the 4-hitter Ott took Pufal yard. But Hajik gets a base hit to open the inning. Pufal lays one down. There's a miscommunication there between Ott and the catcher Abear, but Ott ends up firing to first base to grab Pufal. Hajik will advance to second on the sacrifice bunt. So that'll bring up Mykyler Morris for the Cougars, and Morris having a good start to her season as well for the Cougars. She's a freshman from Belvedere, Illinois. She's hitting .409 so far on the season with a pair of triples as she grounds that one slowly to first base. Hajik will try for third, but the throw from Ott will be dropped at third base, so Morris will be out at first base. Hajik advances to third. It looked like on the slide, Hajik was able to knock the ball out of Mab's glove at third base unintentionally. But Hajik will stand at third here for Gina Westfall, the Cougar left fielder. And Pustina to Westfall. Westfall takes pitch number 1 for a strike. As that ball is popped straight up, it's going to be Abear towards the netting, and she gets it. So the Cougars will strand Hajik at third base after her lead-off base hit. So no runs on 1 hit for the Cougars. 3-0 Edgewood after 2.
Now to bat number 16.
Leading off the top half of the third inning for the Eagles is Olivia Hebert. She's the catcher who just put the cherry on top of the second inning for the Eagles, as she will look to get aboard here as Grace Ott stands on deck, and Ott took Pufall deep to left center field in her first at-bat. Hebert 0 for 1. She flew out to center field in her first at-bat. As that's a line shot out to left center field. Hard hit off the bat of Hebert. Goldsby will get it, fire into second. Garcia will scoop, but no tag is applied, and Hebert with a leadoff double for the Eagles. And there is a runner in scoring position just like that for Grace Ott. And just not what the Cougars needed to start the top half of the third inning, as it appears Coach O'Malley Fisher will elect to make a change here, and she will. Pufall will exit the game. And so in for the Cougars, it'll be number 18, Megan Buska. And Buska's a freshman from Plainfield North High School. So let's look at Pufall's stats as she exits today's contest. She pitched 2 complete innings, gave up 6 hits, 3 runs, all 3 of which were earned. 1 eagle reached via the base on ball. She faced only 12 batters, gave up a double and a home run. 36 total pitches, 21 of which were strikes, excuse me. So let's take a look at Megan Buska as she looks to enter the game for the Cougars. And Buska sits 31st in the NAC in ERA at 5.95. She has pitched 17.2 innings so far this year and given up 15 earned runs in those 17 innings, so just about 1 earned run per inning pitched for Buska, as pitch number 1 is in for a strike. And a tall task here for Buska to enter the game. I should mention that should Hebert score from second, that will be charged to Pufall. Buska will not be responsible for the run if Hebert were to score. But a 1-1 count here for Grace Ott, as that ball is skied into left center field. Goldsby will call off Westfall, as Buska is able to retire Grace Ott while also keeping Olivia Hebert at second base. So a big first put out for Megan Buska and the Cougars as they get the first out of the top half of the third inning. So this is Gracie Halfman playing center field for the Eagles so far. She's 1 for 1. She singled to right field in her first shot, and there's a line drive high out to center field off the glove of Goldsby, in and out, as Goldsby will fire into Hajik. Hajik will cut it off in the middle of the infield. And once again, we'll wait for the official ruling on that, but a hard hit ball nonetheless. It took Goldsby out running to deep left field.
Now to bat number 8, Jenna Sanchez.
So that'll bring Jenna Sanchez, and they'll give Halfman credit for a double. So a 1-out double there for Halfman. It was in and out of the glove of Goldsby, but they'll rule it a difficult play and therefore a hit, as that ball is taken out to left field, but foul by about 1.5 feet. So Sanchez, who sacrificed herself via the bunt in her first at-bat, won't do so here with 2 runners in scoring position and 1 out. So we will see Jenna Sanchez swing for the first time this afternoon, as that first pitch was fouled out to left field, down 0-1 here in the count. 1 out, 2 on in scoring position as she bunts there, but it'll be foul. That pitch was high. It appeared to be a suicide squeeze there for Edgewood as both runners took off. And Sanchez had to chase after that pitch high and outside. So down 0-2, she will swing here. As that pitch in a similar spot as the second pitch, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So it's Abear at third base and Halfman at second. Eagles up 3-0 in the top half of the third inning as there's a pitch line foul in between the third base coach and Abear there. A hard hit shot off the bat of Jenna Sanchez. The count will remain 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch from the lefty. Buska, it'll be outside. Dribbled to Santos. Santos will look to third. Fired as first. So Santos able to get the second out
Now it's bat number 14, Camden.
via the ground ball. And the runners will have to stay put. So now with 2 outs in the third inning, runners in 2 in scoring position for Camden Shepherd. And Shepherd had an RBI single, her first plate appearance. Spuska's pitch is swung on and fouled towards Archuleta, so we'll do it over again. And a similar outcome to the first pitch of the at-bat. So 2 pitches, 2 ground ball, foul to third base. Down 0-2 is Camden Shepherd. So Buska, after giving up the double to Halfman, 2 outs in the third, as that pitch will be high and taken for the first ball of the at-bat by Shepherd. One-two pitch, swung on, fouled straight up in the air. Gang will give chase, but it'll head out of bounds towards Division Street, but shy of any traffic. And I've been alerted that there were 0 cars hit in Game 1 between these 2 teams. So that'll be something we keep an eye on here in Game 2. In the doubleheader against Milwaukee School of Engineering a couple weeks ago, we had a pair of cars take a shot. It was also the church behind us and the playground as well. So the foul balls did some damage all over River Forest against MSOE. As Buska runs that pitch inside and drills Shepherd on the left shoulder. So the bases are going to be loaded for Lily Mabs. And Mabs singled in her first at-bat. So 2 out, bases loaded for the Eagles 8-hitter. She lines that one in the 5 and 6 hole. That's going to be a 2 RBI single for Lily Mabs, swinging on the first pitch. And runs 4 and 5 for the Eagles. So a really outstanding performance so far in the first couple innings by the bottom half of this order. It's Shepherd been on base twice. Mabs been on base twice with a pair of hits. It was Sanchez with a sacrifice bunt. And Halfman is 2 for 2 as well. So the 5, 6, 7, 8 hitters doing some damage for the Eagles. And Ojewski in her first at-bat walked as well. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 really done their part in this second game. And right now the only player to not reach base for the Eagles is Elizabeth Malarski, the 2-hitter. As now Ojewski is down 0-2 in the count. Runners at first and second. 0-2 with 2 down in the third. Buska's pitch is way outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes for the slapper as she'll dribble that one towards the Cougar dugout, stopped by the first base coach. Shepard at second, Mabs at first. That ball is dribbled. Hajik will leave, but Garcia will field to Hajik and get the third out of the inning. Ojewski made it close. But 2 runs on 3 hits. Once again, the Eagles will strand 2 base runners, so 5-0. We are through 2.5 here in River Forest. We'll get the bottom half of the third in just a few moments. It'll be the top of the order for the Cougars, Garcia, Goldsby, and Jessica Gang, 1, 2, 3, when the Cougars come to plate. And inning number 3 on the Cougar Sports Network. So here is Emily Garcia. She's got her own fan section here. She's 0 for 1 in this second game as she squares to bunt. And she'll chase that one low and away for strike number 1. She gave chase. She lined out to center field in her first at-bat of the game. The Cougars tallied 3 hits and their first time through the order. Edgewood hitting .533, Cougars .375 as that pitch is taken for a ball. The 1-1 pitch from Pustina to Garcia is drilled out to left field. Get out of here! A leadoff home run in the bottom half of the third inning for Emily Garcia. She makes her way around the bases, and that'll cut the lead 5-1. The freshman takes Pustina a yard out to left center field, and the Cougars are on the board here in the bottom half of the third inning.
Now to bat, number 4, Haley Goldsby.
Now bring up the center fielder, Haley Goldsby, who doubled in her first at-bat in the first inning. So the Cougars with a little bit of life here in the third inning, maybe able to snatch some momentum back their way. A really big hit by Garcia. So here's Goldsby. She'll square to bunt. She'll put it down. Pustina will be on to field and fire to first, and she'll nab Goldsby by about a step. It's that ball kind of hung up in the air so long there on the pitch from Pustina. The charging infielders were able to get to it a little bit sooner. As here's Jessica Gang, and she grounded out to the pitcher in her first at-bat. So Pustini will work the count to 1-1. So it's the first run given up by Pustina today. 27 pitches so far for her through 2 1/3 inning. As the off speed will be high and outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. As that'll even out the count now, 2-2 for Jessica Gang. She takes that one to the left field corner foul. So we're even in the count, 2-2, Pustina and Gang. As that is drilled again to the netting here on the third base side towards Edgewood's dugout. So the count will stay 2-2. Pitch from the lefty high and inside. Gang takes a crack at it. So for the third straight pitch, a foul ball to third base, and the attack is clear from Pustina. All three of these last pitches have been high and inside to Jessica Gang. And a little bit of deja vu. This is 4 straight pitches. Foul ball, and that poor left fielder out there, it's Carly Ojewski, is getting her steps in, running back and forth from her position in left field to the corner. So the 2-2 pitch, once again, Pustina. That time outside, so Gang will take that one and move this count to full. So a QAB here for Jess Gang with 1 out. In the third inning, the full count pitch is swung on, lofted out to left field again, foul. Turned out to be a beautiful day here in River Forest. It was 32 degrees when I woke up this morning and brought a hat. But don't feel like I need it. The sun is shining. There's no clouds in the sky. This is the 11th pitch of the at-bat. So Gang essentially has taken a third. Oh, goodness. A pitch on the low and outside part of the plate, I suppose, as Gang will be caught looking from Pustina. What appeared to be ball 4 ended up being strike 3. As here's Bella Archuleta with 2 strikes. She'll take that pitch inside. That at bat from Gang, as I was saying, about a third of Pustina's pitches so far today were in that at-bat against Gang. As that one will run inside, just a little bit more inside than the first pitch, but it'll get Archuleta in the thigh as she will jog over to first base and walk that one off, as they say. So here's the Cougar sophomore shortstop. It's Arissa Santos, number 15, as she will go to work with 2 outs. So here's Santos. That pitch is outside. Be 2 balls, no strikes. Now on the Cougar 5 hitter. As that's drilled right back up the middle. Almost hit Pustina on the way through, but it sneaks through a 2-out base hit for Santos. So with 2 outs, the last 2 Cougar batters reach base on the hit by pitch and the base hit up the middle. So here's Melissa Hajik, and Hajik had a single in her first at bat and got stranded at third. So here's Hajik high and inside, and that ball hit her as well, the left forearm maybe. As we're going to get a timeout here from Edgewood. So the bases are loaded now for the Cougars here in the bottom half of the third inning. They've already plated one thanks to the Emily Garcia home run to left center field. And left center field has been the location of every home run here so far hit at Cougar Stadium in the early going of the season. So as the infield chats it up, looks like we are ready to resume action. It'll be the Cougar pitcher. It's Megan Buska here in for Eden Pufall, and she'll hit in her place as well. So Buska here from the left side will take pitch number one from the lefty Pustina for strike one. So Buska is going to look to help herself out here with 2 outs. The base is loaded for the Cougars, as that pitch is going to be high and outside. I'll even the count at 1-1. As that pitch is swung on and low, but now the Cougars little out of sorts as Hajik ended up almost all the way to second, but Archuleta elected not to head home. Fairly short backstop here at Cougar Stadium thanks to Division Street right behind us. So Buska chases that pitch in the dirt. It's now 1-2 strikes on the freshman Megan Buska as that pitch is high and outside as well. So Benedictine leads MSOE in their first game of the day as well, and that's the last first game of the day. Everybody else had 12 and 2 o'clock starts. Benedictine and MSOE did 1 and 3 o'clock starts. So 8 teams are in game 2. 2 teams still finishing up game 1 of the conference slate today. So a full count here for Buska. The runners will be moving with 2 outs, and here's a full count pitch. It's going to be fouled towards the net. In left field, looked like everybody but Archuleta took off on the last pitch. Full count, 2 outs, bases loaded. That's lifted out to left field. It'll drop. Archuleta will score, but Santos will be held. And that'll be an RBI single for Megan Buska, as the lead is cut to 3 now. Pitch came into Lily Mabs, who could have fired and probably picked off Hajik at second. So kind of in consecutive plays, Hajik has overrun her teammates on the base paths. Here's number 17, McKyler Morris. Strike one called on the outer edge as well, similar to the pitch that rang up Jessica Gang earlier. So 0-1 here for Morris. Morris fouls that one up. It's going to head out to Division Street, and it'll land in the middle of the road. So all cars are safe there. Looks like it'll be Mackenzie Strawlin out to shag that ball on Division Street as that pitch is way out. As Strawlin fields the ball on the opposing sidewalk, and she will look both ways as she crosses Division Street. Well done by the Cougars women's tennis star. So 2 balls, 2 strikes here on McKyler Morris with the bases loaded, 2 outs as she swings and fouls that one right at me. And man, if I had a glove, I'd have caught it. But there's a net in front of us, so we're safe up here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, doing it over again. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the bottom half of the third inning. It's 5-2. Morris swing, and She will swing right through it. But the Cougars are able to tally a couple here in the bottom half of the third. So we are headed to 4. It's 5-2 Eagles on the Cougar Sports Network.
Cougars, get them back. The Sports Network here for you.
Now it's about number 22, Emily Garcia.